Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Speed Build Thursday video. So I have a few more things to get talking about, so let's jump right into it. I'm still sort of going off of a list of stuff from October, so some of the stuff might seem like really old and outdated, but yeah, it's just stuff that I never got around to talking about. So actually the only thing that would seem outdated would be this first topic, which is I don't like pumpkin spice. You know how throughout all of October they have like pumpkin spiced everything? Yeah, I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I think it's because it's more the spices and flavoring that's used in pumpkin spice than, you know, the actual pumpkin pie flavor, which is what I kind of expect when I'm having this. So I'm not tasting pumpkin pie, I'm tasting the spices that go into making pumpkin pie taste good. And so that's like, you know, the nutmeg, oh, there's like three main ones, and I can only think of nutmeg right now, but it's just, oh, I hate it. I hate it with the passion. And I honestly, I would rather just have nice, simple, plain coffee over this, you know, those supersized pumpkin latte stuff. And I'm just like, ew, 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 ew. Okay. I was trying to get through that really quickly because that's like, it's done. Pumpkin spice is over. We're November. It's gone. It's gone, thankfully. Now it's Christmas and gingerbread and stuff like that. So gingerbread I don't mind as much, thankfully. But yeah, no, it's weird lately because living more or less on my own, I'm having to do a lot of things that I've never really had to do myself before, and it's weird. Sorry. It's weird because it's like, I don't, it's not that I don't know how to do it, it's just, I don't know how to do it as a proper adult would. Now, granted, my mom would say, well, there's no proper way to do things, but it's just like, okay, but you know, I make rash decisions. It's like, you know, oh, I'm craving pizza, so I'm going to buy a pizza for dinner, kind of thing. And it's just like, I shouldn't be making those kind of choices because you know, I don't need to be spending $5 needlessly on a thing of pizza because I want pizza, kind of deal. And sorry, that I've been eating a lot of pizza lately, so it's the first thing that comes to my mind. But it's just interesting how there's so many decisions you have to make on your own as you become more of an adult. And the thing is that I find, and I don't know if it's everyone, but I find that back when I was like 18 and 19, still like I was an adult, but I still had the teen. It's like if I were to make decisions, it's just like, oh well, you know, you're still, you know, like a teenager basically. You know, don't worry about it. But now it's like I'm 21, and people are like, oh well, you know, you're a young adult. You need to understand how to do things. And I'm just like, where's the difference between being 19 and being 20 or being, you know, 21 now? And it's just like, when did all this happen? Like, what? Yeah, so very, very different and strange and everything. So adulting is hard. Being an adult is definitely hard, and I don't really know how to put it into words. It's just, I guess it's different. It's different when you have to really do things on your own, and there's not so much of a reason why you did something wrong anymore. It's like, you know, oh well, you know, you're an adult, you should know better. It's just like, I made a small mistake. You know, anyone could have made it, kind of thing. So very different. But yeah. Oh, okay. So a while back, again, this is like the last time I updated this was November 9th, and you guys are watching this on the 16th, so not that long ago, but granted the most recent thing here that was not last week, was it? Maybe it was, I don't know, but basically a while back, we were, Jacqueline and I, if you don't know who Jacqueline is, she's my cousin, I live with her. She's also in my Big Sister Challenge video, so definitely check those out. But basically, her and I were making dinner one time, and we couldn't remember the name. Sorry, we couldn't remember the name of the elements on the stovetop. So we were just calling it, the stovetop, or the stove. What were we calling it? I don't remember what it was we were calling it, but we were calling it something other than this actual name, and the actual name is element. It's in the name for where you put your pot and everything. It's called the element. And neither of us could remember it, and then it's like, we're just talking randomly in the evening, and it's like, element, that's what it's called. It's called an element, and we were just laughing because we had honestly spent, I think, half an hour trying to figure out what it was called, and neither of us could figure it out. And it wasn't until we stopped thinking about it did we remember what it was called. So, yeah, that was one of our better days with things. We've had not bad days, but there have been days where just neither of us could think, and it's just been it gets funny when we're in those kind of moods. Again, watch the Big Sister Challenge. You will see it on there. So, yeah. Okay. So, I don't know if I mentioned this in the speed build or not. I've been doing that for a while, so this could be redundant. But, I've never really traveled anywhere. There's, my family and I, we've never really had the chance or had the money to really travel anywhere, and so because of that we we don't travel anywhere, none of us have really had the need for a passport. And it's fine. My sister is currently the only one with a usable passport right now because she traveled to the States, and I think she got the 5-year one, so it's good. Good for another 2 years, I think. But when I tell people that I don't have a passport, they're like, "What do you mean you don't have a passport? Don't you travel?" And it's just like, no. It's just like, I live in Ontario, Canada, and I've never really been outside of it. The closest would have been when I went down to Niagara Falls, still on the Canadian side, but, it's Niagara Falls and opposite of Niagara Falls in the States. So, yeah, that's the closest I've ever gone to, traveling is, when I went down to the States. I've never even traveled outside of, anywhere else in Canada, and let alone left the country. So it's, I've had no reason to. There's, it's not like, we've needed to like see anyone or anything. It's just, I think the main point is that people find it hard to believe that I don't have a passport. It's just like, with how things are lately, it's like not everyone can travel, so why is it so hard to believe I don't have a passport? And it's just like, I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of gets annoying after a while to keep hearing people say, "Oh, you don't have a passport? Why don't you have a passport?" I find it hard to believe you don't have a passport. And it's just like, yeah, I don't have a passport. So what? I bet you not everyone has a passport. And if, we happen to be the only, like, I actually know a lot of people who don't have a passport, and they're like the few who are like, "Oh yeah, that's perfectly normal, I don't have a passport either." But like everyone else is just like, "Oh, that's hard to believe." It's like, "Oh, well, you must have had one beforehand." It's like, no, I've never had one. So, yeah, anyway. Okay. I don't know what I was trying to remind myself with this note, but all I have here is wheelie chair, not safe. And I'm thinking that's like chairs like the one I'm sitting on right now, where it has the chairs that have wheels on it. Like, you know, standard office chairs. And just like, what had happened that I decided to write down wheelie chairs, not safe? Like, oh, what did I do? I feel it's weird because I don't remember why it is I wrote that down. If I remember some other time, I'll bring it up, but right now I don't remember. But on that note, I'm going to jump right over to cats like to sit behind my chair. Yeah, that one's very straightforward. Well, I mean, they don't anymore, but back when the cats were allowed to be down in the apartment, they would always sit right behind my chair. And so anytime I see them come into the room, I'd have to remember that they're in the room, so that when I were to move away from the desk to get up, because I sit like right at my desk, and I can't explain to you, but I'm like right at the desk. So for me to stand up, I have to move back, and I always have to check to make sure a cat is there, because if I roll back, I'm likely to roll onto a cat. And it's just, it was I nearly rolled over a cat one time, and I'm just like, no, that's it. And so I've almost always kept the cats out of my room after that, but it's just like, oh, joy. Okay. Oh, I only have one more thing to talk about. That's actually caught me up really quickly. I'm trying to finish off with this list anyway. So as I've told you guys before, I'm in university right now, and I think I've talked about my sociology class before, I'm not sure, but the professor in there, oh, he's the best. And so a few weeks back, because we were studying sociology, and sociology is basically the study of society, basically. Ology is basically study of, and then it's basically the study of society, and one of the things in society is that we have cults. We were talking about it, and I can't actually say it. Because I know there's gonna be someone in the chat who hates. You know what? Okay. I'm going to say it without saying the name, and you guys actually figure out what it is I'm talking about. I'm actually going to be really happy. But so he was talking about a coffee place and how they have their own names for the coffee sizes, and that's probably right there is giving away which one I'm talking about. And he was saying how those who don't go to that place don't know what the sizes are. I'm one of them. And he was like, okay, for those of you who go there, what is the name for a small? And basically the entire class answered. There's a few people I noticed who weren't answering, but more or less the entire class replied in unison. That's another thing. More or less the whole class in unison replied what the name for a small was. And then he said, okay, what about a medium? Okay, what about a large? And all three times the class in unison would tell him what it was. And at the end, he had this look on his face. It's just like, okay, that was creepy. Like, you know that face you make when something like, well, yes, creepy happens, and you just kind of like take a step back, and you're like, whoa, just stop. And he had that look on his face, and it was just, I think we actually creeped him out that day. It's just like, okay, that's a little too creepy for me, but it was perfect. he always gets a laugh out of me. He always goes on these like little rants and everything, and oh, it's probably one of the best classes. But with that being said, I need to finish up work for my classes, so I'm going to end this video off here, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed it. If you have, please hit that like button, comment, and share. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and notification button to stay up to date with all the videos I post. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!